everybody, it's me, Taiyo, back with another video. Today we're going to be reading two more scary stories that aren't really actually scary, because I wanted to. And also, it's Halloween, and what better way to celebrate Halloween than with scary stories? And trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating's pretty great too. So I guess I'll just start reading, I guess. So the first story is called The Scarecrow. Oh, also, like last time, the stories will be linked in the description, so if you want to read them yourself, you can. Yeah. So the first story I'm going to be reading is called The Scarecrow. I pre-read it, and it's kind of scary. It's not like super scary, like nightmare scary, but it is a bit spoopy. So I'll start reading then. I live on a small farm far out in the country. Every year, my dad puts out scarecrows in our fields because he thinks they're effective in not only keeping the crows out, but evil spirits as well. I guess he's a little superstitious. The scarecrows he sets out are the same ones year after year. After so much wear and tear, they were showing their age. This October started out just like any other October. The weather was turning cool and the leaves were beginning to change into brilliant orange and yellow colors. One Saturday, us kids got together and decided to make a new scarecrow. Being creative, we gathered our supplies and got to work. This scarecrow was to be different. This was my special design. I wanted a creepy scarecrow, much scarier than the others. Hours later, we finished up. Indeed, it was the ugliest, most frightening scarecrow I've ever seen. I was so proud. Mom called us up for supper, so we planted the scarecrow out in the cornfield, where I could see it from my bedroom window. Not giving it any more thought, we went in and ate. Soon the wind picked up and it began lightninging. Lightning? Storming. Storming is a better word. Soon the wind picked up and it began storming. No storm was forecasted, but it looked like we were in for a rough night. Light rain began falling as I went up to bed. I was worried about my new scarecrow, so I peeked out my window. What I saw shocked me. He was there all right, but not where we had placed him. He appeared to me that he was several feet to the right. Puzzled, I stood at the window and watched intently. The lightning was bright, and every time it flashed, I could see my scarecrow. The problem was, it looked as if it was moving when the sky was dark, only to turn up as in another spot when the sky lit up. Thinking I must be imagining things, I put my pajamas on and went to bed. Later on, a loud crack of thunder woke me up. By now, the rain was pounding down, making it difficult to see out my window. I slipped on my shoes and snuck outside to check on my scarecrow. Not sure where he was, I walked around in the thunderstorm, half blinded by the cold, stinging rain. Clumsily, I stumbled over a fallen branch and fell down in a patch of mud. When I looked up, there was my scarecrow glancing down at me. His eyes were huge and glowing red. I couldn't pick myself up fast enough. I ran screaming to the house and never looked back. After tossing and turning the rest of the night, I woke up to a bright sunshine and the smell of bacon. Not wanting to tell my parents what had happened, I sat quietly and ate breakfast. Anxious and apprehensive, I then went outside to look around. My dad was already looking for damage to the buildings, but I was looking for my scarecrow. I could see the other scarecrows, all in their usual places, but my scarecrow was nowhere to be found. Full of confusion, I began crying. Not because of losing the scarecrow, but because of pure, unadulterated fear. My father told me that he probably blew away and would be discovered in a field during harvest. I knew better. Somehow, someway, that scarecrow came alive. How? I don't know. Years have passed, and to this day, I have never seen my Scarecrow again. What happened that stormy night? Do scarecrows really keep out evil spirits, or can they be possessed by one? I don't live on that farm anymore, but I've never ventured outside during a thunderstorm again. So that was the Scarecrow. Yeah. I think it's a good story. And then there's the second story called 50-Cent Piece. And, I'll just read it. There is a story told in Troy and Albany about a couple returning home from a trip to New England. They were driving home in a carriage and were somewhere near Spiegeltown, where the light faded and they knew they would have to seek shelter for the night. The husband spied a light through the trees and turned their house into a small lane leading up the hill. A pleasant little house stood at the crest, and an old man and his wife met the couple at the door. They were in night clothes and were obviously about to turn in, but they welcomed the travelers and offered them a room. The old woman bustled about making tea and offering freshly baked cakes. Then the travelers were shown to their room. The husband wanted to pay the old couple for their lodgings, but the old lady shook her head, and the old man refused any payment for such a small service to their fellow New Yorkers. The travelers awoke early and tiptoed out of the house, leaving a shiny 50-cent coin in the center of the kitchen table where the old couple could not miss it. The husband hitched up the horse, and they went a few miles before they broke their fast at a little restaurant in Spiegeltown. The husband mentioned the nice old couple to the owner of the restaurant, and the man turned pale. "Where did you say the house was?" he asked. The husband described the location in detail. "You must be mistaken," said the restaurant owner. "That house was destroyed 3 years ago by a fire that killed the Brown family." "I don't believe it," the husband said flatly. "Mr. and Mrs. Brown were alive and well last night." After debating a few more minutes, the couple and the restaurant owner drove the carriage back out of town towards the old brown place. They turned into the lane, which was overgrown with weeds, and climbed the hill to the crest. There, they found a burned-out shell of a house that had obviously not sheltered anyone for a long time. "I must have missed the track," said the husband. And then his wife gave a terrified scream and fainted into his arms. As he caught her, the husband looked into the ruin and saw a burnt table with a shiny 50-cent piece laying in the center. Yeah, that was the second one. Not really all that scary to me, at least, but yeah. So those were the Halloween stories I chose and to read for this video, and yeah, I read them, so yay. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. But, so tomorrow, when I'm recording it, it's technically in 2 days, but by the time I post it, it'll be tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm going to have another video up, obviously, because this is a week-long event where I post a video for every day. And it'll be the last video for my Spooktacular week. I'm probably gonna do another one next year, because why not? I might also do something similar for Christmas, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get to that point, I guess, because, Christmas is in 2 months. But, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, so tomorrow's video. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is because it's a surprise. But I'm really excited for it, and I think you guys will like it a lot. So, yeah, it's gonna be posted probably around the normal time. I'm not really sure because normally I pre-record my videos, but for this one I'm not gonna pre-record it, so I'm not entirely sure when it'll be posted, but it will be posted on some point on Sunday, aka Halloween. Probably before, like, the round. It'll probably be a bit before trick-or-treating time, like the time you normally go out to trick-or-treat, so, like, probably it'll be posted around 3 or before that. It just depends, but I'm excited for it, and I think you guys will probably like it, especially if you liked the red shoe theory thing, because it does have to do with my hero. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today. So, thank you for coming. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!